Okay, this is a test here. I want to demonstrate the programming for FL Studio uh, live drum kit. So I'm using ML Sound Lab drum plugin. And so you can see here, they've recorded in a studio various drum percussion instruments. And you can adjust things like velocity, etc. So if we head over into what's known as a piano roll, we can see that each of these samples is mapped to, there's our kick at C3. So on the keyboard, if I press C3, I don't have my MIDI plugged in, but my MIDI controller, but you can tell here that if you had the keyboard, you could play the kick with using pressing C3. Hence the so forth for the snare. And so all of these map to a drum sample or a percussion instrument sample. So here, let's just do the pattern. So let's open this back up actually. We can press play. So we can see that these are programmed individually. So I've had to go in and place these. And there's various drum patterns on this. So here's just a double bass with I think a right. No, just a double bass. And then here's another variation. So I programmed these myself. We had a guitar, so I think this could be the guitar here. So the double bass goes with the guitar. So if we actually go to our so let's go back to that bass. So if I were to program this myself, I would place a kick here, kick here for sure. Probably it looks like it's on the beat for the guitar, so it's not that complicated of a riff or advanced of a riff. So usually the kick drum, you'll want to follow the guitar as it changes, right? So here I could just place the kick here. This is on the wrong key, C3. So now we have a kick, right? And let me just adjust the sample here. Let's try something like that. Okay. So now I can take this that I just created. It's just a kick on the beat, paste it for the entire bar, or loop rather, I should say. So now what if we want to add a snare? Usually you could do it on the 2 and the 4. So here and here. See, I don't like that. Let's go with the third. So every third we'll add a snare and erase the drum. So let's do that. All right. All right, that sounds great. So let's add some something like something to keep time. So we'll add the hat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea. So here is one I've already programmed, which I added some fills on the toms. So here's a tom. So let's check that out. So that's a variation that I created there. That's just one. I think in the song pattern, I just included one of those every so often, just to give it some variation on the drum. So here's the song. So let's just get right into it. So each of these patterns here, 15, pattern 16, we can jump to them. Pattern 19, we were looking at pattern 23 earlier. So each of these I can jump into. Each of these are programmed by. I had to program them myself, and then I just compiled them into a song here. One other thing I wanted to show was that the drums. What's really nice. Let's go ahead and play the drums. I have a mixer here that I've pre-programmed as well. So I've actually routed each of the percussion instruments to their own channel. So the kicks all route to their own channel, and then they come into a bus, and you can add various compression and reverb effects, etc. And all that maps to an instrument bus, which then maps to the master. So if we play just the drums, you see the level for the snare. You can see the level for the overhead. That's another thing I wanted to share, was that there's actually separate channels for the overhead and room from when you hit the cymbals. There's mics. These are supposed to simulate mics on top of at the top of the room, or over the top of the cymbals there. So like we can just exclude everything, just play the overhead here. So you can still hear the snare and kick and toms. And that's because it's overhead. The mic is actually in the room with the drum kit, but it's just closer to this to the crashes and various cymbals, and further from the kick and the snare. So, and this is the mic for the room. So I actually leave that out. So if we include everything here. So that's how it is, man. This is the. Oh, it's not playing the other instrument. So yeah, this is how I created that song. So